be chief someday. You are a princess in this country.
What an amazing story. And she's probably one out of many of us who figured it out. She had to do her own investigation. Princess Sarah was born in Morgantown, West Virginia, to an African father and a white mother. As an infant, she was put into foster care. Citizens, hear this story. She learned that her biological mother died when she was just 11, and her father lived in a village in Sierra Leone, West Africa. From him is when she learned about her royal family and that she is, how do you say it, Mahaloi?
Oh, Mahaloi.
Mahaloi.
Yes.
The granddaughter of a paramount chief. Since then, she has accepted and embraced that title. She's become a globetrotter. She's a philanthropist, a public speaker, a writer, an educator, an actress, a dancer. Okay. She has Sierra Leone Rising, which is her nonprofit organization. And I think she's representative of a lot of people who are probably over here in this land. If you take the time to trace back your lineage, you might find that you are a princess too. Please welcome her to the show. We got a princess. We got royalty in here today. The one and only Princess Sarah Culberson is here.
Princess of the Posse, isn't she a cool one? Yes.
Yes. I like that,
Thank
right?
you.
Wow.
I love it.
Yes. What does it mean to be a princess in 2023?
It means responsibility to your people and the community and something greater than ourselves. That's what it means to me.
That's what it means.
And
but when did you come to that understanding? Like after you found out who your family is, when did you decide I want to step out in that role and make impact?
When I got there and saw what happened after an 11-year civil war, I was like, oh, I can't go back to Los Angeles and act as if I didn't see this. This is my family.
Yeah.
It's not the Blood Diamonds movie with Leonardo DiCaprio and Jimon Honsu that I can press pause on. This is my family. And I said, I feel like I've been brought here for a reason, and let's see how we can work together to help rebuild after this war.
What were you doing at that time with your life?
I was acting. I was an actress. I danced in a professional dance company called Contratiempo. So I was doing the artist work. I bachelor's and master's in fine arts. So that's what I was studying and doing. And then when I found my family, my whole trajectory changed. I didn't really care as much about acting. I wanted to know. I wasn't interested in Hollywood. I was interested in my family's livelihood. That's what I was interested in.
So you took a trip to Sierra Leone.
Yes.
Right? Tell us about that first time you met your family.
Oh my gosh. It was so special. My father gave me this beautiful green African dress. So I've met all these family members before, I should share that, that live in Maryland.
Okay.
And they were hilarious. Hello, Sarah, I'm your Uncle Ali, your father's favorite uncle. Hello, Sarah, I'm your Auntie Jenny. They used to call us twins when we were little. So all these African family members are calling me, welcoming me to the family. And I was overwhelmed by love. And we planned a trip for 6 months later to go to Sierra Leone. And I get to meet my birth father. And he gives me this beautiful green African dress. He has a matching green shirt. I said, okay, we're going to be twins. He said, I would love you to wear this into our family's village. I said, okay. So I put it on. And we go on what I call the Indiana Jones roads to Boompay, my family's village.
The Indiana Jones.
I mean, they are
you doing
bumpy.
dip, you edges.
Cinematic.
Yes. I mean, bumpy roads to Boompay. And when we arrive in the village, there are hundreds of people to welcome me.
Wow.
And everyone parts, like choreography. And all the women of the village come forward wearing that same green dress that I've been given. And they were singing. They were singing, pa-da-tang, tang, tang, pa-da-tang, tang, tang, pa-da-do-a-do-way, pura, Sarah, go to. They're singing, we're preparing for Sarah in my family's language of Mende.
Wow.
I'd never met anyone there before, right? I was like pinching myself. I grew up trying to fit in. I was adopted into an all-white family in West Virginia. I was like doing the track star, homecoming queen, full scholarship to college, trying to be good enough. And I just showed up in Sierra Leone, and it was enough.
Wow.
I realized sometimes just showing up is enough.
Let's take a moment to take that in, man.
Yeah.
Yo. Well, I went to Ghana, right?
Yes.
And I think all descendants and people in the diaspora should go back, if you're able to, go back to Africa. And I went to the point of no return in what is it? Elmina Castles.
Yeah.
But the way I was received over there, I expressed this, and some people may get it or not. It's the first time I got off a plane and didn't feel like I was black, right? I felt like I was home, right? I didn't have this man-made construct of this title put on me.
Yes.
And people received me like that. I've never been looked at with no bias.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so what was that whole cultural experience must have been new to you?
It was new to me.
Yeah.
Especially growing up in an all-white family with so much love, but also going into a whole nother culture in Sierra Leone and meeting the tribe and learning about traditions and just being welcomed with so much love. I remember there was a woman, she had a necklace on, and I said, "Oh, your necklace is so beautiful." She said, "Here, do you want it?" She went to take it off. I'm like, "Oh, no, I just wanted to say thank you. I just love your necklace." So the beauty, and also I took students over to Sierra Leone, and the high school students from America said, "We break our iPhones at parties to get the new iPhone this, to get the new iPhone that." And they admitted that, right?
Wow.
Right? And then they said kids in Sierra Leone could have an empty water bottle. This is soon after the war. And they're excited to go to the pump to fill it up, to get clean drinking water. They said, "We have so much and it's never enough." They said, "What's going on with us?" And I think there's something so powerful because there's so much beauty and confidence and fun and that happens in Sierra Leone. There might not be all those material things, but there's family and community and tribe that's so special, that's so empowering. And even these kids that I took from the United States were like, "We feel it here." They said, "We feel safer here than we ever have in the United States." And they live in very nice areas in Los Angeles. So the community and the tribe is so special.
Wow.
Wow, Princess.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got to say that with a deep voice, right? Introducing Princess Sarah Culberson.
And I am with the king and the queen. I
Okay.
know who I'm
All right.
with. I
There you
know
go.
who I'm with.
Look, if you never talked to royalty, we're going to open up the phone lines. You can talk with African royalty right now, directly. 888-742-3345.
I love it.
Hey.
Got a princess here with us right now. She goes by the name of Sarah Culberson. Found out that she belongs to royalty. Her lineage is from Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
Her family comes from a family of paramount chiefs. What does that mean to be a paramount chief?
You are in charge of a chiefdom of many section chiefs that report to you. So there are 10 section chiefs that report to my uncle, and we run a chiefdom of 70,000. So we've been doing work in public health, education, technology, and female empowerment for the last many years. And my grandfather was Knighted Justice of the Peace by the Queen of England for their work in the country. So England really wanted to have one Queen of England back in the day when they colonized. And when I was talking to the history professors and so on in Sierra Leone, they said, "We are descendants from royalty." And there are different royal families that run for the position. And so my family is one of the royal families that runs for the position in the chiefdom. And it's been pretty interesting learning. And when I did this interview in Sierra Leone, there was the young man who was interviewing me walked up to me and he said, are you part of the Pessoa family? I said, "Yes, I'm part of the Pessoa family." He said, "I studied about your family in our history books." And I didn't even know that. I'm constantly learning more and more.
But see, that's kind of, isn't that a problem we have all over the planet, right? We don't know our history.
Right.
For whatever reason, whether it was erased, swept under a rug, destroyed purposely,
Lied
or
about.
lied about. We just don't know our history.
Well, that's what I think is so important. And I co-wrote a book with my writing partner, Tracy Trivis. The book is called A Princess Found. And our intentions behind this book is we want to make a difference. We want people to talk about forgiveness of family members, adoption, coming together, learning about a culture in a developing country that went through an 11-year blood diamond war, but also having this book shift the narrative of us as Black folks being descendants from slaves, but yet we're descendants from royalty. Mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, lawyers, doctors, and we're brought around the world and enslaved, but that's not our start.
That's not our start.
And so shifting the narrative through this book and also working on a movie to shift the narrative, that's what we're interested in.
What's the name of the book?
The book is called A Princess Found.
An American Family, an African Chiefdom, and the Daughter Who Connected Them All.
Yes.
Okay. Have the HB, you want to jump in?
Yeah, I did. Thank you for coming to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. I want to give a shout out to Sway's cousin, Nika Smith, who came up here to offer to do a ancestral search, for us. Yes. And I was reluctant at first, Sarah, because I'm thinking, you know what? You know what you know. You're comfortable with what you know. You're good. You go with that. What grandma passed down, what mom passed down, what dad passed down, and you do that. And something in my spirit just said, it's time. And a lot of it, to be honest with you, had to do with my mother passing. When my mother passed, I became the primary caregiver for my grandmother. And having to share this time with my grandmother, a lot of holes got filled in. And I was like, I need to go further. But I'm not going to lie, I took a deep breath before I did it. What was your experience like? Do you know about that deep breath that you was like, okay, I'm about to go into those waters that I feel like everybody has been keeping me away from?
I was terrified because of the unknown. I didn't know what I was going to find out. And I was like, what if he's a bad person?
Everything.
Yeah. All that fear came up and I didn't know what to expect. And I had to go, okay, I just took on being open, loving, and courageous. That's what I said. Yeah. And if he wants to meet me, great. If he doesn't want to meet me, that's okay too. But I got to try in this lifetime while I'm still on this planet.
Yep.
I gotta try on this lifetime.
In this lifetime
while I'm still on this planet.
That
part right there.
It is. No, I get it.
Thank you.
I get it.
Princess Sarah Culberson.
Yes.
You are so fascinating. I'm so grateful for your presence right now. And what's crazy is one of my best friends, his name is Joe. He's from Sierra Leone.
Ooh.
And I was just hitting him right now because I knew that he had royalty in his family, but I needed the details. And he said, technically, I'm the grandson of a chief. He was the paramount chief of Bo Kakwa Kingdom until his passing in the 1960s. And his cousin is a paramount chief right now.
What's his last name?
Hatagwa.
I'm sure my family knows them.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just crazy how everything is interconnected. The first two questions that come to mind for me is because you were adopted by a white family, upon finding out of this incredible history and the title that was owed to you, how did that impact the relationship with your adopted mother and father?
You know what? They knew that I was part of a royal family and they knew that I was a surprise. They knew some information. So they told me a little bit. But they're these unbelievable humans. And I lost my mom as well during the pandemic. But they gave me so much information around my birth family, and they're so secure in who they are. They said, listen, we're here for you. We're here with you on this journey and whatever you need. And they went with me. The second trip, I took them to Sierra Leone and they all stepped in. So my birth father and my dad, my white dad from West Virginia and my West African father worked together with Rotary and the Rotary Club to dig wells to get 12,000 people clean drinking water. Like completely different cultures coming together. It was like, this is bigger than all of us. It's not about, this is my daughter, this is my family, I'm a princess. It's like, it's about community.
Yeah.
It's about working on the ground.
We have a lot of off-air conversations and it's like you were on the phone with us. That's all I'm gonna say.
I love that.
It's big. People just don't get it.
It's bigger.
Yeah, I'm clear that I get to be, and I'm grateful for the honor and their challenges with it, and there's a privilege. The princess conversation is real, but there's a huge responsibility inside of that.
Yeah.
And it's not about me, and that's what I've learned. Like, I wouldn't even use the title for the longest time because I didn't want people to think, oh, I think I'm all that. And then friends said, Black and brown girls need to know that we're from royalty.
Hell yeah.
And we also need to know about our history, and we need to know the narrative of where we have come from. And England only wanted to have one queen. So why don't we own where you need to own where you're from? So I started to embrace the title of princess.
Princess Sarah Culberson is here. Mike Muse, you want to want to wrap us up, Mike?
Yes, Princess. I am just curious, and this is a very personal question for me. It's more about me than you.
Okay, no problem.
But I've always had this thought of that the reason why there's been so much trauma in Black communities and culture is because we just don't understand our heritage, our constitution, and where we come from. And so we walk around aimlessly, not being grounded by anything, which is why I get so offended by Black culture admonishing like soul food and, just eat more kale and put the ham hocks down, not really realizing that's probably one of the most limiting things that we have remaining that ties us to anything of like that slave era.
Yes.
And so I'm just curious, now that you have found self, I know you talked about, now you just are and you belong and you don't need like homecoming queen to define you. But like, if you don't mind unpacking personally, like what has healed you now that you know like who you are? 'Cause that's just something I've been curious about myself.
What has healed me? I think having a deeper sense of self, like you were talking about doing the research on our families and knowing whether it's a DNA test or so on, and having this connection to my family, the culture, and that also I can actually share with others. That gives me a deeper sense of myself. When I get to talk to little kids about the continent. When I had this little girl come to my office when I was doing work at a school and she said, we're talking about slavery and I'm really uncomfortable. I said, well, let me show you the origins of us. And I started showing her pictures of little girls that look like her in Sierra Leone. She said, they look like me. It gets me out of my head about myself and getting to be for others and start to think about how do I empower little girls with things that I needed when I was a kid. We're creating a doll. Speaking of that, the Ovid group is an incredible group that we're partnering with to create a Princess Sarah doll. So when I don't know about you all, but when I was a kid, I was constantly looking for curly hair. Yes, curly hair dolls. Where are they? Right? And we're working also on a podcast called Modern Royalty, interviewing cultures from around the world, other royalty. And isn't that great? Because there are so many of us around. Japanese princesses, African princesses, people, there's a Hawaiian princess, people from all over. What if we know about each other's cultures in a deep way so we can be deeply connected to ourselves and heal?
Come on, podcast.
Come on, I like it. What's that podcast called again?
Modern Royalty.
Yeah.
We're launching it very soon, so please stay tuned.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Princess Sarah Culberson. Give her a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Shout out to George, who said you need to have this princess on your show.
Oh, yes. Thank you, George.
Yeah, so we're doing it. Anything you want to say in closing?
I just want to say thank you for having me. Go after your dreams, know that history, and embrace your beautiful selves.
Okay, and you can find her at I Am Princess SC.
Yes.
I Am Princess SC.
Follow me.
She's so cool, y'all.
Stay great, okay? Pleasure. Appreciate you.